another episode of In Conversation With. Today I'm in conversation with Teavaro. I'm joined by Robert and Jonathan. Guys, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Jim.
Jonathan, can you tell us a little bit about what your company does?
Sure. Teavaro is headquartered in the UK. We're a B2B marketing SaaS company servicing both private sector and public sector clients. Teavaro has developed a proprietary cloud-based customer data management and personalization platform. The advantage of using Teavaro is that we solve identity resolution, GDPR permissions management, and personalization across channel, whether it be digital, like email, online, mobile apps, as well as commerce, in-store, call center. With the advent of GDPR and the focus around getting customer permission around using their data, we think we're kind of the sweet spot we're really servicing is how do we first automate the process in terms of collecting, authenticating, getting the right permissions in sort of real time. Second is around how do we not only fulfill compliance needs, but then help an organization move beyond compliance to help deliver better personalized customer experiences, to deliver new services that increase customer satisfaction, really drive really strong, valuable business outcomes. And then third, we're also helping to bring different data silos together, unifying that, creating a single customer view, and really bringing different parts of the organization who maybe haven't been as involved, for example, legal, help them desensitize them to some of the needs of the business, and really bringing both internal and external stakeholders to deliver a solution that both meets the goals internally as well as externally.
That's awesome. So one of the things that you said really struck with me is the idea of going beyond compliance. So let's table that for a sec. We'll come back to that. You mentioned GDPR, and so tell me, in your customer base, what are some of the challenges that your customers are hitting with GDPR compliance?
So from a marketing perspective and from a user experience personalization perspective, the initial challenges were that, as Jonathan mentioned, that many of these companies have data in different places, and they needed to find a way to bring this data together, but also at the same time have a common, what we call marketing identifier, to basically connect with a device that the person is using, like a smartphone or a PC, and then to manage the notification for transparency and the permission in a way that allowed them to tie that to specific use cases. So the conventional way in the browser world is very much linked to cookies, which is now changing dramatically. And we've started from the very beginning to do all of this in the cloud. So basically there's a link to a device, certainly using also a first-party cookie, but then all the magic, so to speak, is happening in the cloud. And that allows you to have the data in a place where you can also look at it, report on it, which otherwise is not possible really. And you can also safeguard the data. So you have a bunch of benefits, and you can also build tools that allow you to meet certain use cases. So rather than having a one switches everything off button, you can have multiple buttons to allow you to manage, for example, online marketing experiences, personalization experiences, collection of data for analytics purposes. And that again brings you then back into the world of the cloud, where you then have different tools that we leverage in AWS to very rapidly build solutions to show the client the benefit of doing this. So initially GDPR, as I guess many organizations started very late, it was a big challenge to get it all done on time. As we see now, I think the fear that some people had before the 25th of May wasn't quite justified. I think there's a lot of opportunity in there. In general, there's an opportunity to be more data focused, more data centric as an organization. And that basically helps you, become a digital organization effectively, because your digital services are based on data. And if you understand how to handle data in a GDPR compliant way, and in a way that allows you still to innovate, I think you are on the right track as an organization.
Just to add, I think Teavaro is in a unique place to service the public sector who are struggling with how to get their arms around complying with GDPR. I think first is how do you use our technology combined with AWS to collect, to process real-time notification on permissions, whether it's offline interaction or online. And from there, being able to service customers or clients in new ways. I would say the first big concern is really around linking this sort of anonymous collection of data to authenticating them to an actual customer. I think that's the first thing that our universal market ID does. It does with high accuracy and high scalability. The second piece is how do you help a client fulfill all the regulatory requirements from GDPR. The one area that we see clients still struggling with is really around data subject requests, around what data do you have on me? I liked certain data deleted. If you can't authenticate this data with somebody in a customer profile, it's very hard to execute. And it has a lot of impact in terms of a manual process. So it puts a lot of strain on an organization. And so we help address kind of this automation. And then third, now that you've got this data collection and process moving, certain stakeholders, whether executive level or legal, because of the fines associated with GDPR, they want to have kind of real-time updates on reporting, the sort of timeliness of the data that's being collected. Have there been any changes? So these are kind of the three big areas that we're seeing. I would say that about 30% of some of the clients we're talking to, they weren't satisfied with their initial deployment because the vendor that they may have chosen only got them to capturing one type of permission, which is consent. But if they wanted to deploy solutions that were both consent or based on legitimate interest or other scenarios, and then including capturing and fulfilling a data subject request, they needed something more robust. And so we're seeing a lot of clients come through asking for a second opinion, but also a more robust, more scalable solution.